Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Simple Art for Adults. My name's Erin, and I am going to, I don't know, just talk color, show you some stuff. That's the plan. It's about 10 o'clock here in Kentucky, and I am not ready to sleep. I made coffee way too late in the afternoon, and now I'm awake. So I figured I'd help a couple people out who have emailed me with some questions. So one of the biggest questions that I get is, how do I manage to keep my swatches and all of that stuff organized? Apparently there's a couple people who are struggling with this. So if this applies to you, I'm going to show you what's in my binder. This is my big Oxford coloring binder. It weighs about 10 pounds. If you look inside, you can probably see why. This is a giant, I think it's like 2 or 3 inch binder. I can never tell. It has a zipper pocket on the outside. There's nothing in this right now. There would be if I was traveling. I'm going to try to find this. I have found it on Amazon before. If I find it, I'm going to stick it in the description box below before I put the video up. Now, when I first open it, of course, you're going to notice my glitter folder. I love this. This was a Walmart special. I got it for $1. So some of the stuff that I keep in here, just to kind of show you. So in this pocket, I have tracing paper that I use to put under my hands when I'm coloring. I have some paper towel in case I am watercoloring and I need to dry my brush. I have my big color wheel in here. And I also have my cheat sheet for selecting colors. I can't remember where I downloaded this. I want to say it was like Coloring Bliss or something like that, but I'm not certain. If it was and I'm wrong, or if it wasn't and I'm wrong, I apologize. I should have written it down. But this is just kind of like a cheat sheet to tell you how to pick colors off your color wheel. This color wheel actually has it on there anyway, I think on this side. Yeah, see, if you look in the center, it tells you anyway. So that's what all goes back here behind this. If I can get it all back in there now. I actually need to fold this in half because it's hard to get things in there. Now, inside this little zipper pouch, which is kind of neat, I've got a pen holder here that I'm not using. And this has a zipper on it. And this is where I keep all the little inserts that come in colored pencil sets. So I've got the Caran d'Ache one, thanks to Beth. She sent that for me, along with the 40 set that I bought from her. The Holbein one. And I have, for whatever reason, I have 2 from Faber-Castell. But I keep these in here so I know what colors are available to me in other lines. So that's all in there. Now, starting here at the front, this is where I have all of my sheets, my swatches, and everything. So I keep this folder here, and inside I have my extra swatch charts. These I downloaded and I print them from Jennifer's stay at Coloring Bliss. You can go over to her website at Coloring Bliss and you can become a member for $5 and you gain access to all of her charts, all of her worksheets, all of her coloring pages. It is well worth it. So I keep a stack of these, and this is the 150 ones. She makes smaller ones, but it's just easier for me to print off the 150 ones. So I keep a stack of these. Behind that is where all of my swatches start. Now what I do is I print mine off on cardstock and I put them in these little plastic holders. And I got mine at Office Depot, but you can find some at Walmart. You can find them pretty cheap. I'll do a little search on Amazon and I'll put some down in the description box if you're interested in buying some. But basically I just make the swatch chart and I stick it behind the plastic. So I have one for pretty much every set of pencil I own. So Prismacolor, the Lyra Rembrandt, all the ones I have, the Arteza, and this is the Arteza pens back here, the Soho Urban Artist, let's see, my Cali Art markers are in this one, Black Widows and Scorpions. I still need to do the Cobras, Marco Renoir, Marco Raffine, Polychromos, Blick Studio, Chameleon Color Tones. These are the Condo markers from Hobby Lobby, the 40 set of Cali Art markers, and then the Chameleon pens that I have. I have the set of skin tones, and if I ever want to use them, I know what they look like. So basically what I do is I leave all of these in here, and then when I'm coloring a page, so like right now I'm working on a page in Vilin, and I'm going to show you that here in just a minute, but I'm using the Spear Farben pencils for that. So I just pop whatever one I need out, and this way I don't have to keep this big binder out, and I keep it with my book. So normally it would stay inside the book just like this, and then when the book goes back on my shelf and I take it down, that sheet's already in there. So just to show you guys, because some people have asked me about this too, here's where I am with this picture. Ooh, let me try to get it in the frame. This is what it's looking like so far. I wasn't real sure what I wanted to do for the outside background, so this is actually Create a Color pastel pencil in a light blue, and I think that's all I'm going to do to it. I don't want to do much. I don't want to make it fancy because all this is so busy in here. So we're just going to stick with the pastel pencils. I'm loving this. It's going to be done soon. It feels like I've been working on it forever. First was the sticks, and now it's the mushrooms, and the mushrooms are a lot of fun. I'm having a whole lot of fun with the gel pens, to be honest. In case you can't tell, they're all dotted. So that's where I'm at with that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back. If I can tuck it all back in there. So that's how I keep all my swatches, is in here. Alright, so past all the swatches is another folder, and if I open this one up, this is where I have color combination charts. So I have the one that I still need to fill out from this. I downloaded from Color with Claire, so you can go to her website and get this, and you can get one that's already printed or one that you can fill in yourself. These are all some of the ones that JC Radican left in the Simple Art for Adults Facebook group over on this side. So I have a whole bunch of the small colored shading swatch charts printed out here. And then over here I have the ones that have like the flowers, and there are some that have leaves in case I actually like want to test something and see what I like the best. So that's where I keep all of these. Now past this folder I have some more sheets tucked into plastic sleeves. So I have this, I just started. I still have to transfer all my existing ones over, but so I have the spare farb in here, and then I have one for luminance, one for Prismacolor, one for polychromos, one for Arteza, and one for the Lyra Polycolor. And so eventually the goal is to have one in here for every single combination. Now this is going to give me 70 combinations front and back, and I figure if I need extra ones I'll just put pages in behind, and I'll like write, you know, spare farb in page 2 on the second one. I can paper clip them together if need be. So that's how I'm going to keep all my color combos. Okay, so finally, in this last folder, I keep all of my digital printouts, everything that I have printed from Color On magazine, from digital websites, pages I've torn out of coloring books, and that kind of thing. And then behind that, I have the pictures that I have colored that were printed or taken out of coloring books. And I'm sure you guys probably recognize some of these. And then in the very, very back is all my extra sleeves. So that is how I keep all of this stuff organized. Of course, back here, there's yet another big pocket. It's difficult to get things in and out of there, though, without completely picking it up and folding it back like that. So I don't really use that pocket a whole lot. But this is a nice, big, thick, heavy-duty canvas binder. It keeps everything, and there's still plenty of room to add more. If this gets full, I have some of those smaller, cheaper plastic binders that I'm planning just like, you know, put color combos in one and leave my swatch charts in one. So we'll see how it goes. This so far has served me well. I've had this thing for a year now, and it's like brand new. This is a real high quality binder. So I'm going to move this aside. And I'm not real sure what I exactly want to color. I do too. I want to color in my Millie Marotta. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull out my Lyra swatch chart. I'm going to need that. And then I may also need my Lyra combo chart in case I come across something I want to remember. And then so when I get ready to color, I'll just pull these out and then put the binder away because it's bulky and I don't want it kind of hanging out everywhere. I'll pull my Lyra pencil case out. I have Scrawler box stickers everywhere. Okay, so let me organize, take a drink of my water. I'm drinking Nestle Splash Acai Grape. This stuff is so good. If you all have a Kroger nearby, these were on sale for $1 for a 6-pack. So I stocked up because they're one of my favorite things to drink. Oh, for those of you who haven't seen the other videos yet, here's another work in progress in this book. I'm really liking this. I'm generally not a big fan of the Create Space paper, but I'm using Arteza pencils on this and just light layering and then going over it, believe it or not, with a white Crayola pencil is making this look really nice. And I'm very pleased with it so far. I'm excited to finish it. I'm trying to decide what colors to put in there, you know, outside of the greens, obviously. But I will get there. So let's get our Curious Creatures out. And let's get... Oh, I didn't flag my page. Not real bright, am I? We'll do that real quick. Here I am telling you guys how to stay organized, and I can't stay organized. It's funny. I'm going to find my flags so I can go ahead and flag my page. So this is what I'm doing for sectional coloring for the challenge in the group this month. For those of you who haven't watched the first video, there is one out there. Basically, these are all going to be blues, greens, and purples outside the circles, and then inside the circles, I'm not certain yet. Haven't decided. I gotta find my flags, guys. I'm not sure where I put them. I found them. Oh, something else I want to show you while I'm down here digging in this drawer. I took a step and I bought something. I bought a watercolor palette. It's airtight. And inside the watercolor palette are some watercolors. I have not used them yet. I'm waiting for them to set up. They're almost dry. It's been a couple days now, so they are almost dried up. These are the cheap watercolors. I think they're called Marie's. They were like $15 or something, and they got excellent reviews. Even from some like pretty mainstream watercolor artists said that, you know what, for student grade cheapos, these are pretty decent. So basically, I didn't want to spend a lot of money. I don't watercolor. Really, this is just for me to see if it's something that I'm going to enjoy. And so the palette I've paid almost as much for as the watercolors. But the way I see it is that I can use acrylic paint in it if I end up not enjoying watercolor. So it's not a complete loss. Alright, close that up. Now then I'm going to flag my page. My box of flags. For those of you who are curious, you can get these at Walmart. You can get them at, I think I got like a giant pack of them at Office Depot when they were on sale for about $5. When the little container came from Walmart, this was $1. Okie dokie. So let's move all this stuff out of the way. Find my pencils I was working with. Alright, so we've got all those done. I'm going to go back to working on the plumes. So I've got my blues, got my sharpener. Get you guys zoomed in a little. There we go, now you can see what's happening. Okay, so I'm going to sharpen up my light blue. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. Like you said, it's about 10 o'clock now on Saturday night here in my neck of the woods in Kentucky. We have had more fireworks shows going on today. The city where I live in Owensboro, Kentucky. The city put on its fireworks show on the 4th of July. And now I guess the Davis County Fish and Game put their fireworks show on tonight. So we got to see 2 fireworks shows. What they do is they do it right on the Ohio River. I think on a barge. I think they actually take a barge out into the river and light the fireworks from there. So we live on 5th Street, which is 5 blocks from the river. So we can almost see what's happening from our front porch, which is kind of nice. There's some trees and stuff in the way, but you can still see it a little bit. So we've had some pretty decent fireworks shows. The neighbors too. The neighbors have been putting on their own shows. Get my pencil nice and sharp here. Gonna have to add some of these colors to my Dick Blick list soon. I like these Lyra pencils, but it seems like they sharpen away real quick. And they're like real thin in my hand. I wish I knew what the core size was on these. They seem thinner than other pencils. And I don't know if it's because the core is thinner or because the casing's thinner. I just haven't. I don't know if you guys watch Art Gear Guide ever. That if you ever want to watch like a really thorough and in-depth review on a product, on especially colored pencils, there's two channels that I'm gonna, well, actually three channels I'll recommend. There's Art Gear Guide. Harry's awesome. Harry is like an amazing artist too. He can draw. I just like want to email him and beg him to draw more stuff and put it on his channel, because it's like so satisfying to watch him draw things. So he does lots of really good in-depth reviews. Coloring Caria is amazing. I absolutely love watching her do her reviews. She's very thorough as well, but in a different way. And then there's Color with Claire, of course. She also does reviews, and I like the way she does them too. And the thing is that each of these people feel a little bit differently about the products, because they're giving you opinions. So you kind of get, the way I see it is, if you can hear from more than one knowledgeable person that all have, you know, meaningful opinions, it's going to help you out more than just, you know, making a purchase based on the first person you listen to. So always watch multiple reviews, always read multiple reviews before you buy stuff. You might learn something from one person that you didn't learn from the first. So yeah, if you're ever curious about stuff, any of those channels are good. And I know that Harry did a really good review on the Lyra Polycolors, and his was the one that I watched before I actually bought them. And I know that he talked about stuff like core size and light fastness, but for the life of me, I can't remember what it was. I'll have to go find that. These are some of my favorite pencils to work with, though. I really do love them. I'm going to go ahead while I have this one and put my purple up here. To dig around here in a little bit and find some different colors, but I want to finish this combination before I start another one. You guys can't really see what I'm doing. So I got a new lamp. I bought 2 Ott lights at Tuesday Morning a while back, which is kind of like a odds and ends shop, sort of. And I bought 2 Ott lights, 2 very different ones. One was like a traditional desk lamp, and the other one's the one with a magnifying glass. Now, the one with the magnifying glass is still working like a charm. The one that was more like a desk lamp quit working like 3 days after my return was up, and I could not find the registration card. So I was out a light. Fortunately, I only paid $20 for it, so I wasn't out like a whole lot of money. It was disappointing nonetheless. So, what I did was I went to Amazon the other day, and I was browsing, and I came across a battery-powered 7-watt LED lamp that you charge via USB, and then once it's charged, it doesn't have to be plugged in. So it's like an emergency light. It's got 3 different colors: cool, warm, and natural daylight. It's dimmable. It's really super bright. And it was $9. So I thought, well, you know what? For $9, you really can't go wrong. So I ordered it, not expecting much. And I'm going to tell you what, it's probably my favorite desk lamp. I'll take a picture of it. I'm using it right now, so I can't really show you. But I'll take a picture of it or something and post it in the Facebook group so you guys can see what it looks like. I'll stick a link in the description box, and when I post it on Facebook, I'll share the link there too. Guys, if I forget to do that, please remind me to do it. Just message me on Facebook or tag me in a post or something, and I'll get it up. But it's a really, really good deal. So it's worked like a charm for me. I've had it for a few days now. Haven't had the first problem with it. I like that it has like a night light mode too. So when you just want a little light to be able to see something, turn it on. Okay, going back in with purple one more time just to kind of darken up these shadows. Down here closer to his head. And now I'm coming in, I'm going to sharpen up my lightest blue. Get it nice and sharp. There we go. And then I'm going to come in and blend this out. So I'm bringing it down into this other blue as well, just to kind of give it a smoother blend. I like the way this is looking so far. I'm still surprised that I'm enjoying this book as much as I am. I bought it months ago. I think somebody challenged me to buy it and do a picture in it, and I remember looking at them all at Hobby Lobby and thinking I just didn't like them. I mean, it wasn't, like I said before, it's not that the art's bad. It's just that all these little tiny details and so many lines. But now that I've actually taken the time to get started coloring, I like it now. I'm going to go ahead and put the light blue in the whole thing here. There we go. And now true blue. Yeah, so if you guys still hear some fireworks, it's just like a little bit after 10, so it wouldn't surprise me if there's still people out there. We haven't had any rain in a while, so that kind of makes me nervous, but honestly, it's been so humid, I don't think it matters. I don't know, I'm not a fireman or fire expert, so I can't really say for sure, but wishful thinking, I guess. Maybe I should call and increase my renter's insurance just to be on the safe side. So I have a cold and it's annoying me. I don't like having a cold. I don't want to have the cold anymore. I caught the edge of my thing, so it's a little darker line there. Oh well. You guys can probably hear that I'm a little bit nasally. I don't feel so bad anymore. I'm kind of tired feeling, I guess. It's always worse in the evening. And a lot of people commented on my Facebook post that I put up in the Simple Art for Adults group and talked about how summer colds were the worst, and I do have to agree, they really are. But fortunately, they don't usually seem to last very long. They're usually over pretty quickly. And I know I definitely feel better today than I did yesterday. I felt like poo yesterday. Oh, wrong color. I'm trying to bring the purple up to different lengths with each one of these just to kind of make it look more natural, I guess. It's a bird of paradise. I do believe it's a bird of paradise. That's what it looks like to me. It's a curious creature. I do know that. Ha! I'll see myself out. So I've also been thinking more about the color series I want to do, like the color theory classes, and how to, you know, light sources and shading and all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to figure out a way to approach it because honestly, guys, I'm not an artist. I'm definitely not an expert. I haven't studied this stuff. All I know is what I've learned from, you know, YouTube videos and such. I know enough that I feel like I could help a lot of people, but I don't know if I know enough to really pull it off. So we're going to see. I'm just going to see what happens. I do have the first one all lined out. I have my notes for it. I'm going to get it recorded. I hope sometime this coming up week. Tomorrow's going to be a crazy busy day for me, or Sunday, because you guys may not actually get to see this until Sunday. But Sunday's going to be an insanely busy day for me. I have a lot to do. Monday also. I'm not even certain I'll get time to color. Alright, bear with me just a minute. I need to take a drink. Oh, that water is so good. I've been playing with my video software too, trying to figure out which intros I like best, what effects I like best. So far, I'm liking the purple one the best, with the bokeh, however you say it, effect. I don't know. I'm just outlining the circles right now while I have my purple out. Doing a little bit of shadowing around there. Yes, this is why I color so slowly. It takes me forever to color anything. Well, that and the fact that I have like literally 10 whips right now. I have so many works in progress. But that's okay. I have all month to finish them. And I will. One of them's my mermaid in the Hannah Lynn book I was doing, but all I have to do is do her skin, so that won't take long. Alright, so now back to the True Blue, and I'm going to come down here, blend out the purple, bring it up just a little bit, add a little bit more pressure, because that is going to help make a better gradient for me, I hope. There we go. And then now back with the light, oh, no, still True Blue. I gotta go up here with the True Blue. And I still have these down here I have to do. I'm going to do those in the same colors. But I will shade them, hopefully in such a way that they actually stand out a little bit. Need that contrast to make them pop. Kind of like these ones down here did. This looks like that because of the contrast. And so that's kind of what I want to do with the rest of it. This is going to be exciting. I still haven't decided if I want to ignore the pattern or just color each individual little spot. And knowing me, I will probably end up coloring each individual little spot. Okay. And now for the light blue. Let's go ahead and fill in all the plumes first, or all the tips of the plume. Sorry about the fireworks, guys. Not much I can do about it. I'm hoping it stops pretty soon. I know that a lot of the people around here are kind of getting tired of being up until 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so now I'm just going in straight up and down motion with a harder pressure so that I can blend all of this out. And when I do this, I'm going to look at it and see whether or not my purple at the bottom is still dark enough or if I need to add more. And there's that. Not too shabby. So let's do the ones just under it. Now again, I'm going to put the lightest color first. And I think I'm going to do this part right here under his throat in the same colors too. So while I'm doing this, and the reason that people always ask me, you know, how do you decide what colors to use and how do you decide where in your picture you're going to put your colors? And honestly, that's a really good question, and something that I learned very, very early on when I first started coloring. I had a smudge of blue there. Something I learned very, very early on when I first started coloring. There's a video on YouTube by Blender Guru, right? And it's her Blender, which is an online software. But it's about color theory. And it is probably one of the best videos about color theory that I've seen. Even if you don't know anything at all about color theory, you will by the end of it. It's a little more complex, and it doesn't really, I mean, it applies to coloring, but it wasn't designed for colorists. But that's where I've learned a lot of things from that video. One of those things was about composition and how great artists use colors in their works in such a way that they make your eye focus on something. How do they balance their pictures? How do they, you know, subtly draw your eye to a certain spot? And that's all about color composition and where you put your colors. So basically, if you're going to use a color in one place in your picture, you want to use it, you want to balance that color out and use it in more than one place too. And I'll explain that to you more in depth when I get around to making my the first video in the color series, the color course series. But that's kind of the gist of it. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm not just using a color in one spot. I want to make sure that if I'm using it at the top, that I also use it at the bottom. If I use it on the left, that I also use it on the right. That kind of thing. Because that's going to be very, very important to balancing things out. And it seems to me like the more that I learn and the more that I practice these things that I'm learning, the better it is for me and the easier it becomes, excuse me, to pick palettes and figure out where I want to put things in my picture. And I'll show you an example of that. Like right now I have, here's the bird's going to be blue. The leaves are on either side green, and that's fine. That's okay. I don't need to put blue up here or down here or anywhere. I just need the blue on the bird. And it doesn't make any difference if I don't put it anywhere else because the bird is so blue. Now the green, I may want to incorporate a little bit of green. I may want to bring it in and put it somewhere in the bird. Maybe in the eye or something. Because that'll really help make it pop. I haven't quite decided where to put it yet, but I know I will. So like when you're doing a background on your coloring images, right? And you can't decide what color background you want to use. Typically for me, what I do is I usually do my backgrounds last. Usually, unless I, you know, have a plan for a picture and the background sets the mood. And I'll try to pick a color that number one, ties into my focal point, the subject of my picture, and number two, hasn't been used very much. So like if I'm coloring a Hannah Lynn book, I might use a color on her eyes that I didn't use anywhere else and then make my background that color, and it'll really make her eyes pop if I do it that way. Or like when I did the keyhole picture in Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, I made my background blue, but I didn't have any blue anywhere else in the picture. So I decided to take one little tiny element, which was the butterfly that was in the keyhole. That one little tiny element, I colored it blue, and it balanced the whole thing out, and it was so nice, and it was so easy. And that's just, you know, the little things that I've picked up watching YouTube and the like. So all it takes is just, you know, practice. When you're if you're, you know, making dinner, standing at the stove, waiting for the water to boil so you can cook your pasta, you know, prop your phone up and watch a YouTube video. A lot of them are really short, quick, easy. Teach you a lot. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm coloring. Teach you guys a whole lot of stuff. That's exactly how I learned. Now the neighbors are going to go crazy with the fireworks again, of course. if they keep going, I might take a break for a minute until they stop, so it doesn't get too annoying. Alright, so now I've got all that done. And I'll show you something else here in just a second too, because I'm not liking how the tops of these plumes are like blending in with the ones behind it. I can fix that. I'm going to show you how. It's all about contrast. If you really want things to pop and look like they're three-dimensional, it's all about your lights and your darks and making sure that they set each other off. And this is something that for a long, long time I really struggled with, and I knew there was something missing in my coloring. I knew there was, but I couldn't figure it out. And then one day it just dawned on me. More contrast. Alright guys, I'm going to take a break until the neighbors stop with the fireworks, and I'll come back and I'll show you how to put some contrast in this. Alright guys, I've waited a little while, about half an hour, and they are still going. So really all I can say is if it's going to bother you, you don't have to watch the video. But if I'm going to finish it up, I'm just going to have to deal with it myself. So we'll just see how it goes. Hopefully it won't be too late or too loud. So my next step here, what I was going to do earlier, is my plan is I'm going to put some contrast in here. And to do that, I'm going to use my black pencil. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of add a little black, just a little bit, around where these other plumes are. And hopefully that's going to help to separate them and make them stand out a little bit more. So I'm just going to start with just a small amount, and if I have to bring it out more, I can. I have no idea how long they're going to go. It's 11:45 now. Surprised angry people haven't put a stop to it already. I bet a lot of people are going to church in the morning. It's kind of late. Alright, let's see. Well, it looks a little bit better. I'm going to come back in with my purple though and blend it out a little further. So I'm going to like just bring it up a little tiny bit more, because it's kind of noticeable and I don't want it to be like really super noticeable. So the plan is to come back in with the purple and just kind of blend it out. And we'll see how it looks after that. I'm just bringing it up a little bit to make it easier to blend in with the purple. Alright, while I have it, I'm going to go ahead and come down here. Oh, I need to put some darker purple in there first, I do believe. Actually, no, let's not. Since I'm going to be coming back in there anyway with the purple, I'm just going to go ahead and add some black first, and then I'll just put the purple over it. Makes sense to me. These people have been going for hours, and you know that they've got to have like hundreds of dollars worth of fireworks. It's insane. I don't like to be a complainer. I really don't. I don't mind fireworks. I like them. I enjoy them. But it's like 3 days now past the holiday, and it's late, and it starts to get obnoxious. Because if it wasn't for that, I'd probably be sleeping right now. Because my internal clock's gonna make me it's gonna make me get up at like way too early, like it always does. I guess that's not, it's not anybody else's fault. I guess to normal people, it's probably really not all that late. So that's what I keep telling myself. All right. I'm going to come down here and do it with this. And I'm probably going to have to go back in with my other colors too now. Just to, that's the wrong glue. Just to make it not so stark of a difference. Same down here. Basically what I'm doing is using my other colors, going over the top and kind of trying to blend it out a little. There we go. And then finally, again, with the light blue and what sounds like shotgun blasts behind me. Blend everything out. I'm just kind of going over the whole entire thing, trying to pull that black that I added out just a little bit so that it looks like a shadow and looks like it belongs there. That's a little better. Now I'm just going to go down here at the bottom. And a little more purple. This is why it takes me so long to color, guys. I just keep fiddling until I like it. That's just what I do. I fiddle until it looks nice. And I think that'll do it. I think that actually looks pretty decent. I like it. Except now I got more blue smears. These pencils smear more than I thought they would. Okay, so now I'm going to come down here and do these, and I think these. So this whole little section here. So it is almost 11 on Saturday night and Central Time. You guys probably won't be seeing this until sometime on Sunday though. So what were you guys doing while I was coloring? Were you sleeping? Were you coloring? Were you out having a good time, enjoying the nightlife? Watching a movie, on a date with a significant other? None of the above. Okay, how do I want to do this? Do I want to do it the same? I think so. I think I'm going to do it the same. So I'm just going to add this blue here and leave a little bit of highlight at the bottom. I don't want to go too dark though because I have another layer to put on. I also need to add my purple. But I like the way it looked on the feathers on the bottom, so I'm going to do it this way again. I don't think this is going to take me nearly as long as what I thought it was going to. These down here, these things, they might. But I may just like do it quickly. Like I may just color the lightest color all over the whole thing and then just use a couple darker colors to shade it. That'll make it quicker. I have some fine liners. I have some Cali Art fine liners, but I'm kind of afraid to use them to get like in between the gaps that are in there. See how there's like little gaps in between those things? I'm a little afraid to try that. They're not the best fine liners for actual coloring. They write nicely. They're good for like journaling and things like that. Ooh, I may have to try those in the journals I got from Color It and see how those work. So I haven't colored much of this off camera. I did a little bit of the wing, and I did another leaf, I do believe. So I haven't done a whole lot, just a little. I've had a few people ask me to do it all on camera, and I don't know if I can. To be honest, I don't know if I can do the whole thing on camera. I'll try. I'm afraid if I try too hard, though, I may not finish it in time. All right. It looks nice. I like that. I'm just putting like a little bit of purple in there, just to make it look like a shadow. And you know, in order to make, I may have to come in and put a little black in these two, just to kind of balance it out. Otherwise, it's going to be really dark. And that's okay if I do. I'll just sharpen it up really, really good and come in and stick like a black line, just to deepen up the shadows in other places to kind of make it look like it belongs. Because unfortunately I didn't have a darker purple. I guess I could have went in with the brown, but I challenged myself to only use a limited color palette. Alright, almost done with this. I'm going to go right up here underneath where there would be a shadow and just kind of pull this down a little bit now. That's pretty decent. Alright, let me rub this out just a little because I got right over the line, just a smidge. There we go. Alright, now I am going to take this black and I'm going to go just put a line. And you guys may not be able to see this real clearly. Oh. Pulled that one out a little further than I intended to, but it'll be alright. My hand twitched a little. Don't want to bring them all the way to the end. Okay, I'm gonna go right under here. Right up beside the beak. There we go. Alright, now I'm gonna come back in with all my other colors and layer over it. Again. And that's just gonna kind of help it look like it belongs there. Make it purple darker back in the corner. Bring it up. There we go. All right, now for the true blue one more time. I'm just going to go right over the purple. I'm going to blend it all out with the lightest color momentarily. We're going to get more blue on the bigger feathers, which is fine. Alright, now to take the light blue and give it all a good blend. There we go. I'm going to zoom it out a little bit so we can take a different look at it. There. Actually looks pretty good. I like it. I'm trying to say if I want to pull the black down here too. Like I said again, just to kind of balance it out, make it look like it belongs there. I'm not going to yet. It may be okay just up on his face. So I'm going to wait until I get more of it done before I do that. Now, because I have some of this blue here and some of this blue here, and I want to kind of keep it all cohesive, I think I'm going to put some of the blue down here and down here on these two little parts of the tail. And I think after I get that done, that is where I am going to stop. So let me move my book and zoom you back in, and we'll get those two little parts done. There we go. That should be good enough. Okay, so only doing the parts outside the circle, obviously, because the parts inside the circle are going to be totally different colors. And then these down here. I know you guys probably can't even see this color showing up very well, but it's there, I promise. Just kind of gives a base for all my other pencils to slide around on. Alright. So it's like this is the underside almost, so I'm going to have to remember that. Okay, let's see. So the true blue now, how do I want to do this? Alright, for this one I'm going to do darker at the end and lighten as I go up toward the top. Yep, just like that, that'll work. And I need to slow down because I keep getting outside the lines. I think it's because I'm tired. It'll likely be covered up anyway because those are going to be a darker color, so I'm not too worried about just a smidge. It won't hurt anything. And that's going to go all the way up. And so is this one. Okay, now for the purple. I don't want like a whole lot of it. Okay. So now I'm just going to kind of reverse and go back with my other colors. Darken them up. And be careful with these because there's going to be a lighter blue going in. Okay. Now then the light blue, and then I'll come back in and darken up the purple. I'm just going to go ahead and go over these to help blend it out. And I do use a hard pressure for this because it does kind of help push all the colors together and fill in the tooth, even though there's not much tooth on this paper. There we go. I do believe that's about as good as that's going to be. So I'm going to come back in with my purple because you can't really see it that well anymore. Darken things up just a little. There we go. I'm going to do this part down here, and I may actually come back and do this and this, but I need to figure out how, because it's the tail, it's just like kind of curved around, so I need to think about how to do it. So I've got this and this part, because this will all be different colors, and I'll have to do the reverse. It just gets complicated. Don't overthink it, Erin. Don't overthink it. I'm going to use the same principle here. So these feathers here are almost kind of ruffled. So I'm going to try to help them look rounded. And I'm going to do that by kind of leaving the highlighted area not all the way. I'm going to leave the highlighted area just a little bit differently. So on this side, I'm shading up a little further and gradually lightening my pressure. But then I'm putting like a dark line over here too on that side. And then when I come in with my darker colors, it should give the appearance that it's rounded. And I'll show you. Okay, so now I'm going to take my purple. I'm going to come down here all the way to the bottom. I'm going to bring it all the way up here and out just a little. And then I'm going to do just like a real thin line right there. Same thing here, all the way down along the bottom, up, out, just a little. And then a real thin line over here. And then one more time. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to darken that up, darken up the true blue. Yep, so this is basically what I do. I just keep going until I end up with whatever it was I wanted it to look like. And sometimes it takes a bunch of layers to get there. Like right now I'm going to come back in. I'm going to darken up this purple even more now because I don't think it's dark enough around the edges. I need it to be darker so that when I come in with my lightest blue to blend it out, that I end up getting that rounded look that I want. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to take the lighter color and I'm going to go in and we're going to blend all that out and hope it looks the way I hope it's going to look. So far, so good. And I'm just, remember, I'm getting close here because I'm using a harder pressure. Because I'm trying to use my pencil to squish all the other colors around and blend them out. Ah! It broke! Too hard, maybe. I think I need to empty my pencil sharpener. There we go. All right, I think that's where I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits for the night. Let me zoom you guys out so you can see it. Messes everywhere. Not that far. Alright. So that's where I'm just going to go ahead and hold off tonight now. It's getting late on my end. I think everybody's finally quieted down, which means maybe I can go start to relax. So at this point, what I need to do is try to figure out a way. I think this needs to be darker under here, like the same colors except darker. And then up here, I'm going to reverse it. So I'll do the same principle up here, lighter here, and then darker under there. But I'm not going to do it today. I am going to call it a night. I'm going to put my pencils I was using back over here in my pastel drawer. I'm going to put up all my things. I'm going to take my plastic sheet and switch sides. I'm going to put it in front of the picture now so that when I close the book, the pencil doesn't rub off. I can take my my swatch chart though, and I can put it, if I didn't have the flag there, I can put it on the other side so I know where my page is. Oh, I forgot this, and I can stick that in there too. And so now when I put my book back over here in my file, because I use this thing, see, it's a big like organizer, so I put my book back in here, it'll be ready to go when I'm ready to color in it again. Alright guys, thanks for joining me while I colored and chatted while I couldn't sleep tonight. If you guys heard all the fireworks again tonight, hey, I'm sorry, but if I have to put up with it, you do too. I'm totally kidding. In any event, happy Saturday night, even though you probably won't see this until Sunday morning. If you like what you saw today and you're interested in any of the products I used in this video, just like the last one, you look down in the description box and find them all along with my wish list, coffee account, all that stuff is all down there, social media, whatever you might need. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me an email. My email address is down there too. If you're not a member of the Facebook group, come on over and join us. It's a lot of fun in there. If you have not subscribed, do so now and then hit the bell down there so you get notified whenever I make a new video. If you give my video a big thumbs up, it's going to help other people find it, and that really helps to support the channel as well. As always, everybody, happy coloring. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.